trapped in the woods, a terrifying camping nightmare. Jake and Emma, a newly engaged couple from Seattle, had been looking forward to their weekend camping trip in the lush, secluded Cascade Mountains. They wanted to escape the city's chaos, breathe fresh air, and enjoy some time under the stars. Armed with a tent, a backpack of supplies, and Emma's trusty golden retriever, Max, they hiked deep into the forest to a spot recommended by Jake's co-worker. The first day, they set up their tent in a clearing surrounded by towering pines and a babbling brook. Jake cooked over a small fire, while Emma took photos of the scenery. As the sun dipped behind the mountains, the forest was bathed in hues of orange and gold. But as night fell, the peaceful atmosphere began to shift. Max, usually calm and friendly, started growling at the edge of the clearing. His ears were pinned back, and his fur stood on end. "Probably just a deer," Jake said, brushing it off. But Emma felt uneasy. She scanned the darkness with her flashlight, but saw nothing. Later that night, as they lay in the tent, Emma swore she heard faint footsteps circling their campsite. Jake assured her it was just animals, but neither of them slept soundly. The next morning, they woke to find their food supplies scattered and partially eaten. What puzzled them was the way the cooler had been opened, like someone had deliberately unlatched it. Jake suggested they pack up and move to a different spot, but Emma insisted they were overreacting. As the day went on, the tension eased. They spent the afternoon hiking to a nearby waterfall, Max happily leading the way. When they returned, the unease crept back in. Emma found her journal lying open on a log. She was certain she had left it in the tent. That night, the nightmare truly began. Around midnight, Emma woke to Max barking furiously. She shook Jake awake, and they listened, hearts pounding. The sound of heavy breathing came from outside the tent, then the unmistakable scrape of metal against metal. Jake grabbed a camping knife and unzipped the tent cautiously. Standing a few feet away was a man in a tattered hoodie, holding a long, rusty machete. His face was obscured by the shadows, but his intent was clear. "Who are you? What do you want?" Jake shouted, trying to sound braver than he felt. The man didn't respond. He stepped closer, the machete glinting in the moonlight. Emma screamed, grabbing Max's leash, as the dog lunged forward, growling ferociously. The man hesitated, clearly unnerved by Max. "Run, Emma," Jake yelled. They bolted into the woods, Max leading the way. The sound of crashing footsteps and the man's eerie laughter followed them. They ran blindly, adrenaline surging, until they reached a dirt road where they'd parked their car. As they drove away, Emma glanced back and saw the man standing at the edge of the trees, watching them leave. When they reported the incident to the authorities, they learned of similar cases in the area. Several campers had reported strange encounters, and one couple had gone missing months earlier. The most chilling discovery came a week later when Emma's camera, which she thought she had lost during the chaos, was mailed to her home. The last photo on the memory card wasn't one she had taken. It was a blurry shot of Jake and Emma sitting by their campfire, taken from the darkness beyond the trees. The trip was supposed to be a romantic escape, but it became a haunting memory they would never forget.